Let's look at date formatting. Dates are formatted in different ways in different countries or for different purpose. In some country like US, they use month, day, and year. While in country like UK, it's kind of reversed. They use day first, month, then year. In my country, this is what we use. Python uses the strftime method to convert date to a readable format. So use the string strptime to convert string to a Python date format. The syntax is the strptime string, the string you want to change, and then the format you want it to be in. If you look at this chart, it shows you the formats you can put your string. They are all listed here. If you go to the Python documentation, it's going to show you all this. For short and long weekends, you use the A for short and the big A, %big A for long weekend. That is, if you type in something like Wednesday, if you wanted to show Wednesday, if you wanted to show only WED, you'd use the small a. If you wanted to show the full Wednesday, you use the capital A. Day of the month, you use the D, which is from 01 to 31. The B for month, like JAN, January. Big B is going to show you big B is going to show you the full January. Of course, if you want to do month number from 1 to 12, you can use the M. Year, long year, and short year. Then you can check them out. Okay, let's check out some example of using our string formatting functions. Okay, let's use this date one and format the string. Date one strftime. I'm going to put in the string I want to format it with. %A, %D for the date, A for the week, and Y for the year. Okay, so let's do a printout. Let me comment out all this. Date unformatted is date one. So this is what it is when I haven't formatted it. But when I format it using this, okay, let me store it in a variable called date1f. So date1f is, so print date formatted date1f. This is formatted this way. If I change this to capital A, it's going to change to Monday. The small a is for the day of the week, short form of the day of the week. I can actually do, let me just do two of them. Put these in the, you can actually just play around with it. Look at, I have mon, which is this. Then in a comma, I have the capital there. Then D for day on the 23rd, and Y for 2000. So there is another string method we can use with datetime, and that string method is used to create dates from a string. The method is strptime. It takes in a string, and right in here, it tells us the format of the string, how the string is formatted. So knowing this, the method will be able to convert your string to date. So let's take an example. Let's say string one is 2021 0906. Okay, that's a string. So I'm going to store in dates 11. I'm going to store a date time string p time. So it's going to take in my string and then the format of my string. You see right here, my string is year, and this is how we get the year, full year. And then my string is also, the next one is the month, 09 month, 06 is the date. There is a slash. in between this. So I can print out my date here. So it's going to print out the date. It's going to convert this to date. If we print out the type now, type of date 11, it's going to show us now that this is now a datetime value. Let's take a look at our print age program again. The print age program takes in the current date and then subtract the current date from your age. This is assumed to be your age, so we store it in day string. We did the method in which we use this code to convert this string to a list like this. And this is what we did. We did day string, we split the day string, and when you do this, it's actually going to split it out into a list, but it's going to be a list of string. That is what this command will do. But with the map list, it's going to convert that string to a list of integers. And what we now did was we created a date using that list of integers, and we put an asterisk before the list of integers. What the asterisk does is that it creates a date. Instead of doing this, inserting the list completely inside the dates class, it's going to spread it into the date class. So when you get today's date and you get the date of birth, print out the today's date, we print out the date of birth, we'll print out the total number of days, how old it is in days. You're going to see total days is this. We also got the total years and then the total month, and then we also calculated the total days, and we printed it out in this format. As you can see here, year is days, month is 2, and days is 4 days. Getting today's date is quite easy, but with the method we went through, converting the date of birth to a format that it will be acceptable by the date class is kind of a bit complex. I'm going to show you 2 other ways that we can do this that can make it a little bit easier than using this format. Now, I'm going to say DOB underscore, and I'm going to use a list comprehension. Let me comment this out. A list comprehension returns a list, and I'm going to say for value in date string dot split. What I'm doing with date string dot split is that it converts this date into a list, but is a list of string. So when it converts it, each of the string is going to be converted to an integer. So it's going to take one, each item in the list, each of these, take this and it converts it to an integer. It does it for all the other item in the list, and then it puts it back into a list and it stores it in DOB, and then of course it spreads it into the date format. So this is another method. I'll call this the second method of doing that. This is method 1. This is method 2. You can see it brings out this information. So this is a little bit quite easy if you're not very comfortable with using this. Now, the third method is using the SCRP time that we just did. That is a little bit easier. We're not doing any conversion. We're not using a list comprehension. We'll just convert directly the date to the format we want. This is what we'll do in the third method. I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to say method 3. I'm going to put method 3 here, and DOB, I'm going to comment that out, and I'm saying DOB is equals to datetime dot SCRP time, and I'm going to put the date string here. As you know, SCRP converts a string date to a date time. When we do that, we'll specify the format we want it to convert it to, %y /%m /%v. So with this format, it converts this date to a datetime value. Let me print out DOB now. Let me comment all these out. So if I print out DOB, you can see it converts it to a datetime value. It takes the string and then converts it to a datetime value. Let me uncomment it again. So I'm going to convert that datetime value to just a date. So I will put all this in a comma, and then I will call the date method on the output. This returns the datetime value, and then I'm calling the date method of datetime. So DOB now is just a date and not a datetime. If I print it out, DOB is DOB. So you see DOB is just a date now. It's no longer a datetime. So I'll take this out, and just with this one line, instead of doing all this complex methods, with this one line using the SCRP time, I can achieve the same thing. If you want to get your input from external source, instead of coding it here, you comment these out and use this date string. So this date string takes in the value from the terminal, and of course we can run that, run the terminal. The code in the terminal is going to ask, enter your date of birth. I can say 1987 in the format as shown, 0905. And with that entered, it gives me the number of years, the month and the date, and then the other values as expected.